Nyara ama kesi inayohusisha Steve Kavingo ambaye alipotea mwishoni mwa mwaka jana akiwa miongoni mwa vijana wengine 5 ambao walipatikana baada ya kutekwa nyara. Vile vile pia kuna kesi ya Kelvin Modhoni ambayo imejumuishwa katika kesi hizo za vijana waliopotea baada ya kutekwa nyara. Tuvuke mubashara tusikilize yanayojiri.
Now back to our top story, and veteran journalist Macharia Gaitho says he intends to sue the state over his abduction early Wednesday, which the National Police Service says is a case of mistaken identity. NTV's Nyara carried out a vehicle search on the vehicles involved in the veteran journalist's abduction, which raises even more questions about the conduct and legality of the operations being carried out by the police. And while Macharia's incident is chilling in nature, it follows a disturbing trend of abductions that have happened to numerous Kenyans, which police officers may have today inadvertently admitted to being responsible for. Here now is that report.
Perhaps he did not know it at the time, but by the time the son of veteran journalist Macharia Gaitho took this video of his father being bundled into this white pro box, it would form a critical part of the evidence of what transpired Wednesday morning as it gained widespread attention on social media.
I was blocked by a civilian car. As I was waiting for it to move out, some 2 other men came on my left side where I was seated, my son was driving. Opened the door and tried to move me out. They did not identify themselves, so I refused to get out of the car and instructed my son to drive away. They followed us and we to come to current police station.
It is here at the current police station that Macharia and his son Andrew tried to seek refuge and report this navy blue Subaru Forester, registration number KCB 847F, which had blocked them and tried to kidnap Macharia. Unknown to the father and son was a danger lay in wait as this white pro box registration number KBC 725J emerged and its occupants pulled Macharia out of his car and into the pro box. Even more concerning are the police officers, clearly marked in uniform, who are seen assisting to push Macharia into the white pro box.
They brought me down Mombasa Road up to near, I think around the turning of the Mombasa Road, where they stopped. They made a few calls. I don't know to do, but I gather they were talking to their superior.
NTV conducted a search on the white pro box, registration number KBC 725J, and found that it is registered to a one Stephen Kimathi. But interestingly, the make of the car on the motor vehicle copy of records is different. It instead states that the make is a Toyota Corolla. There may be an explanation for this, as a closer look at the car's number plate reveals that the letter C appears doctored, raising questions about the legality of the vehicle used to bundle off the veteran journalist, as well as the legality of the individuals who carried out the act. Further, NTV carried out a search on the Subaru Forester that initially blocked Macharia and his son as they left their home. Watch what happens when the search is carried out, because strangely, the National Transport and Safety Authority NTSA portal prevents me from searching for the vehicle and does not yield any results.
I have never had to go through abduction, kidnapping by people who I do not know whether they are police or whether they are terrorists. A 19-year-old young man going through that, seeing his father abducted in a very brutal, violent fashion, must be very traumatizing. It is traumatizing for my mom in Nyara at the age of 95, getting this news that her son has been abducted and she doesn't know by who.
As if the abduction of Macharia Gaitho wasn't bad enough, the National Police Service via their official channel, stated that the whole incident was a case of mistaken identity, claiming they mistook Macharia Gaitho for blogger Francis Gaitho.
We cannot recount. I think we were there during the struggle against the one-party dictatorship. If we resisted one, who are these ones?
When asked whether he intends to sue the state for damages,
we also note Macharia Gaitho's demands that we escalate this to command responsibility. We have a historical case where we've done this, the baby case.
Sadly, Macharia Gaitho's incident isn't different from what other Kenyans have had to endure in the past few weeks since the anti-government protests began.
If it means going to the streets, that's what we are going to do. And that's why we agreed that as media fraternity, next week Wednesday, we are issuing a 7-day notice starting today. Next week Wednesday, we are calling for a nationwide protest.
The Kenya Editors Guild wants immediate action taken against those who attempted to forcefully seize the veteran journalist.
The IPOA headquarters were the final stop for Macharia Gaitho and his legal team as they sought to complain over today's abductions, which they rubbish as a case of mistaken identity. This is a case they say they are willing to take to the state's doorstep as they complain over the trauma he suffered earlier today. Ngena Kirari, NTV, Nairobi.
Your Lordship, yes. The video is to be found at paragraph 10 of the 5th interested parties replying affidavit dated 6 January 2025.
Yes. hear clearly what that gentleman says.
He exclaims, just repeat it again. Just repeat.
Unataka what mwizi hapa?
Unakaa na mwizi hapa. Unakaa na mwizi hapa.
Yes, Councillor.
Yes, Your Lordship. That video is to be found at paragraph 12 of our supporting affidavit dated 26 December 2024. Your Lordship, the court should also note that that is the second petitioner who to date is still suffering trauma and mental anguish, and we were unable to get any of his statements as regarding this matter. He's been unable to speak to it. The last one, Your Lordship.
Yale yamesemekana mambo ya abduction tutakomesha. Ndio vijana wa Kenya waweze kuishi kwa amani na vile vile wawe na nidhamu na wawe wangwana, tuweze kujenga Kenya tukiwa pamoja. Tumekubaliana?
Yes, Your Lordship, this is in the fourth interested parties, further affidavit dated 23rd January 2025 at paragraph 6, where the President himself said that they would stop the abductions. Your Lordship, that brings us to the end of...
The person in that video is not before this court. And when I asked you the relevance, you said it was leaked most of the time. Because in the Kiswahili language, there are multiple ways to interpret what that phrase would mean. The connection means stop, means we will stop. I'm not certain, and because of that, I will not have to increase. Yes,
I think the video is more than has been shown, and the link is available. There is a request by Raila Odinga that abductions of young people do stop. That is what Dr. William Ruto is responding to, and it will give us the basis in our submissions to show that this I don't know coming from the respondents. It's not true, because the entire state, up to the highest level, if you, my Lord, denies us that footage, then we cannot be able to make robust submissions, especially in the face of refusal by the duty bearers to come to the court and say, this is what is happening.
With that context, Senior Counsel,
yeah.
Because what has been brought is 4 sectors without what you are referencing previously, so that I'm able to appreciate the context in which that statement is made. I cannot appreciate
allow us then to show more than that, because we have it. They were just saving the court's time. I have provided a link in my affidavit, and the link is full. It's not partial. But this was fashioned for the court to save time. Allow us to show the entire video. It takes a while, but we can show it. Can you...
you are raising?
My Lord, that is the point I made about the application that is before you this morning. The petitioners have elected to show you the video. The evidence that they have chosen to support their application is what they have shown you. Post your Lordship's ruling, there is no opportunity for that evidence to be improved. Your Lordship has given a ruling based on what you have been shown, and there is no other basis for that ruling. You have decided that you are not admitting it. Let us proceed from there.
I think we also deserve to be heard. If the respondents are saying they have a right to be heard under Article 50, so do we. And I'm still on my feet, in case you can't see.
I was just adding on to what my brother said. Unless now you can...
I do not in any way tolerate that. The way we conduct matters in courts is you wait for a natural break or to be called upon. You don't speak over counsel, especially not over senior counsel. Exactly. So please retake.
I agree. I'll wait.
Please retake your seat. Senior counsel, continue.
Most obliged. So we are also seeking to be heard. The paragraph 6 has the link, and the link has the full video. It begins with Right Honorable Raila Odinga and ends with Dr. William Ruto. And I would seek that it be shown fully, because the link is not partial, and the link is Azimio TV. And these are matters in the public domain. This is a case, my lord, where we'll have to show a pattern and to show that the state has knowledge at the highest levels, to be able for the court to determine the two issues, to secure the liberty, to inquire into the legality.
What I can assure you, Senior Counsel, because if you were stating that the link is full, when I retire to write, I will do this all again. Okay. And click on every single link. If it is full,
it is.
Then I think your concern is
addressed.
Yes,
most obliged.
My Lord, I was just referring to the links that were shared over the weekend. And I didn't see any link that included the portion that Senior Counsel is referring to. What was shared is what we are seeing on the screen today.
Well, it's not a big deal. If when I retire, I click on that link, because the link will not change. If I click on that link and it doesn't give what I expect, I think my Mr. Kuyu is preempting. Okay, let's do it that way, Mr. Kuyu. No, it's okay. Let's do it that way. You can save me time. But do we have that affidavit? Do you have the link?
The same link is contained in the affidavit of the 8 interested party at paragraph 21.
The challenge is my Mr. is not to log in.
Well, I believe you have given guidance as to how you deal with it. Let us move.
Let's just leave it. Yes, Counsel, we have about an hour left.
Yes, Your Lordship. That brings the end to the presentation. And I've been inviting Councillor Ochel Dudley to submit on issue 1 on compliance.
My Lord, issue 1 is a fairly straightforward question, and it's whether the respondents have complied with these court's orders of 30th, 31st, and 8th of January. The simple answer, my Lord, is that no, they have not complied. 2 of the petitioners, my Lord, are heading to their 2nd month in captivity. And none of the petitioners was brought before the court, as the court had ordered. Instead, my Lord, the state, using public resources, chose to deposit them around the country, endangering their life even more, and contrary to the court's orders. So the answer, the straight and simple and narrow answer to issue 1, my Lord, is that no, the respondents are in continuing violation of the court orders. They've refused to free the 7th and 8th petitioners, and they did not comply with the conditions that the court has given. That, my lord, is the whole issue. Thank you, my lord.
Thank you.
My lord, on the second issue, I'll submit shortly to allow senior counsel Martha to proceed with the same, is whether an order of habeas corpus ought to be issued. My lord, you're still aware that 2 petitioners are still missing. As much as my lord has given leeway, dispensing the fact that the Inspector General of Police and the head of DCI should not physically attend, we still do not have answers, and the duty bearers have failed to produce the 2 petitioners before this honorable court. My lord, the only way to ensure the safety of these 2 petitioners, where their current whereabouts are known, is that we must hold the duty bearers accountable.
Yes.
They have access to public resources, and they cannot come and tell this honorable court that they do not know. My lord, your brother Justice Mbruna, in the case of the Law Society of Kenya and 3 others, versus the Attorney General, the constitutional petition E-467 of 2021, in his holding on the right to habeas corpus,
Yes.
he stated that the right to an order of habeas corpus can be described as the greatest guarantee of human freedom ever devised by human beings. Its importance rests on its being the absolute safeguard against on its citizens or aliens lawfully within the borders. He further stated in paragraph 57 that under Article 3 of the International Convention for the Protection of all persons and states are obligated to take appropriate measures to investigate any acts of enforced disappearance and bring those responsible to justice. My lord, the respondents before you today failed to comply with those court orders, and therefore the writ of habeas corpus sought in this notice of motion application ought to be issued. That the hand of the respondents is in the incalculable cases of enforced disappearance and illegal detention. The same is for the reason that the said unlawful acts by the security agencies are tied to those who have criticized the government in one way or another. My lord, to date you have not received any information as to the extent that they have taken to assure or to provide and produce the 2 petitioners that are still missing, nor any reason as to why they are lawfully being detained or at all. And therefore, this writ is the only guarantee that will assure the safe return of these 2 petitioners. Thank you. Meet, please, the court. I want to add on to that and say that the scope of the writ of habeas corpus is twofold. To produce the body and to inquire as to the legality of the If you look at Article 25 of the Constitution, it merely lists habeas corpus as a non-derogable right. It is not described, but when you go to the Judicature Act, it guides us that statutes of general application of England are applicable. And as a matter of fact, this writ originated in the United Kingdom and has spread across the world. It is now under the 2010 Constitution that we are having numerous cases of habeas corpus. We had a few during the Nyara era.
Na mtazamaji, mahakama inaendelea kusikiliza kesi kuhusiana na visa vya utekaji nyara, ambapo hii leo tunatarajia kwamba Jaji Bahati Mwamuye atakuwa anatoa mwelekeo kuhusiana na iwapo kusimamishwa kwa amri yake ya awali ambayo alifanya hivyo wiki jana tarehe 22 ya kuwataka Inspekta Jenerali wa polisi na mkurugenzi wa DCI Mohamed Amin kufika mbele ya mahakama kueleza wanachokijua kuhusiana na visa hivi vya utekaji nyara, itakuwa inatupiliwa mbali kabisa, ama tu kwa jumla kutoa mwelekeo kuhusiana na hayo, na pia kesi ambazo zipo mbele ya mahakama kwa sasa, ikiwa kati ya vijana 6